Okay, you remember the previous lesson, I talked about the line of symmetry. Okay, the line of symmetry, right? So if let's say I have an axis or a line of symmetry here, okay, so what is symmetry? Is when, let's say I have a paper cutout of this purple figure, okay, I draw a line of symmetry, and when I fold it, it should form exactly the same figure, or it fits exactly, okay. So for this, there's two lines of symmetry, one here, where you fold this part into this part, it should form it should fit perfectly, and or you draw a line of symmetry here, okay, and this part will fold down into this part to fit perfectly. Same thing for this figure, okay, you can see there is more than one line of symmetry. If you cut here, this part folds to this part. If you cut here, this part folds to this part, and so on. Okay, so now that you have seen the line of symmetry, okay, I want to show you examples that do not, or figures that do not have a line of symmetry, okay, like earlier, I think the previous example I mentioned to you, like if let's say I have this figure here, okay, if I draw a line this way, okay, it's actually not a line of symmetry. Why? Because if I fold this into this, okay, it takes a bit of imagination, but if it folds this into this, okay, it actually does not what do you call that, exactly form a symmetrical figure. Okay, so okay, so these are examples, okay, of figures. Okay, actually, some of the figures here have a line of symmetry, and some of them don't. All right, so take a while to take a look. Okay, we'll study one at a time. Okay, and we'll see which has a line of symmetry. All right. So for this figure, okay, we can test it out. Okay, we obviously know that the line of symmetry can't be here, because if you fold over, you do not form the same figure. Okay, so I'm going to remove it. If I cut here, it doesn't make sense either. Okay, does not fold to form the same figure. But if I cut here, okay, there's actually a line of symmetry. Okay, so this is a symmetrical figure. So we say this figure is symmetrical. Alright, okay, so we take a look at this. Alright, is this symmetrical? Okay, you have to test it. Whenever you have a question, you have to test it. You cannot assume, oh, it looks like it has a line of symmetry just because if I draw a line here, okay, it gives me a line of symmetry. No, that's not true. Okay, that's not how you check. Okay, if you really want to check, you got to draw the actual line on the figure. Okay, so if let's say I draw a line here, 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 here. Okay, you guys should use a ruler to confirm, because I can't use a ruler here, so I'm just going to draw the best as I can. Okay, so as you can see, for this figure, although it looks like it can form a line of symmetry, it actually is not a symmetrical figure. Why? Because this part here, if you imagine this part, okay, you're putting a mirror here, okay, if you cut this part and you flip it over, okay, it should actually form, okay, it should actually form something like this. Okay, so I'm going to try to copy it as best as I can. Okay, you should form a figure something like that. Okay, so this way, form a circular, oops, form a circular shape. Okay, so then this is colored. Can you see? So this is symmetrical. This with my coloring here, okay, and here, okay, will form a symmetrical figure. But the original, which is this, is actually not symmetrical, right? So if I take this and copy over, it does not form the same figure. Okay, And if I take this and I copy it over, it should form something like that. Okay, and this, something like that. Oops. I just want to quickly color it so you can get my point. Okay, so can you see that this part actually links with, this part, when you flip it over, it forms like this figure here, and this part, when you flip it over, it should form this figure here, but you can see that it doesn't fit exactly. So this is not symmetrical. Okay, so this figure is not symmetrical at all. This is not. And this is not symmetrical. So what about this U-turn sign? Okay, however you cut it, it's not symmetrical. Right, so this is not symmetrical. This, is it symmetrical? Yes. Why? Because I can cut it this way. Okay, I'm just gonna go through quickly because I'm running out of time. Okay, this is symmetrical. Is this symmetrical? Yes. Okay, it is symmetrical this way. Okay, you see, form the same figure. Is this symmetrical? No, it's not. Okay, why? Because if I cut it this way, okay, it doesn't flip to form the same thing. If I cut it this way, it also doesn't flip to form the same thing. So this is not symmetrical. This is symmetrical, this is symmetrical, and so only this, this, and this is symmetrical.